Juan Romero here from SwitchWatch. Welcome to my Zumba Burn It Up Nintendo Switch review. Alberto Beto Perez has a lot to answer for. If it were not for him, the Zumba craze would never have taken over most of the planet. With 15 million taking weekly classes over 186 countries, wherever you go, there is either a Zumba class at your local gym, a book on the bookstore's shelf, DVD, downloadable Zumba classes, and of course, games like this. Zumba is everywhere and is still as popular as ever to keep fit. And I have absolutely nothing against anything that's there to get people active. So it came down to me to review this game. Okay, I have to admit, I'm a terrible Zumba dancer, and to be honest, I'm not as pretty as my beautiful partner. So let's just say she put this to the test, and while she was doing that, I was writing about her experience and then turning it into a video. Now, we're going to review this one slightly differently to how we go about our normal breakdowns, and that's because this really doesn't fit the traditional game model and is more about fitness and exercise, hence the name Feel the Burn. So I want to look at it from that perspective. Where just dance games would appeal more to your casual dance fan who could play this and have a great time even though they lack in the dance department, the moves in Zumba are a little bit more complex and so require more of an expert level to play, in my opinion. It's more focused, a more focused fitness regime. That's not to say you can't play this if you're a complete beginner, because there are slow and low intense songs here, but the moves do require practice. The fact that this lacks a practice mode to learn more complex moves is a real shame, because I think it needed that for your lesser skilled dancers. In any case, let's start off with the modes that you have at your disposal. You can choose from 30 classes that suit your fitness levels. There are different intensity levels to each song, of which there are 30, so anyone can take part in this. There is no excuses. You have good slow songs, high energy ones with lows that are in between. I would say for my tastes, Latin dance, music, salsa, merengue is right up my street anyways, and most of you will probably know some of the top tracks like I Like It and Level Up. But while they are two of the most well-known tracks, the other 28 are a mixture of decent enough songs, and the others, the missus said, were not quite up to par, which again, a little bit of a shame, I have to say. I do agree after listening to them all myself. Now, dancing to a track is simple. Here you pick up one Joy-Con, hold it in your hand and follow the instructions on the screen, and obviously watch the dancers. Zumba Burn It Up will pick up your movements and reward you if you're in time with the dancers. 5 stars is what you ultimately want if you're playing this as a rhythm game, but at the end of the day, this is more about taking part and trying to get a little bit fitter. For that, this is a great aid for exercising a little more at home. If you can't be bothered to go to a class, well, this is a great alternative. For those of you that like to take part in Zumba, well, you'll have some new routines here as well as some of the classics. As you only require one Joy-Con to play, well, it's fantastic for getting 2 of you to play together and even play up to 4 players. So, great for family or just 4 friends, keeping you all motivated. My only gripe with these types of games is that there are so many musical tracks, and usually I would have 4 or 5 of my favourite, with the rest they're just not that great, and so boredom sets in once those tracks and dances are mastered to those songs. Some downloadable tracks for the future to extend this experience would be good, but nothing has been confirmed just yet. Now, my lady did explain, and as I kept watch, that the game was pretty good at keeping track of your movements, but realistically you can cheat quite easily by moving the Joy-Con at the right time, so it's not quite foolproof in tracking your exact dance moves. It would obviously need some sort of camera for that. Performance was pretty great. There was certainly no need to worry about slowdown here, other than when the dancers were dancing slowly, of course. You can also play this on the move, whip out the Switch, place it on the floor or a table, take out those Joy-Cons and start busting some moves. Now, would I use this as part of my own fitness regime? Me personally, no. But then I'm not really into dancing to keep fit, so I'm not really the target audience here. I much prefer a good swim, but that's just me. My good lady explained that she enjoyed it and would use it from time to time as part of her own fitness regime, so in that respect, that's a win. Let's talk about that value. Zumba Burn It Up is £34.99 for us in the UK, $39.99 for our friends in the US, and in Europe, you're talking about $39.99. Now, value is going to depend on you really. If you're hardcore into Zumba, the price isn't going to be prohibitive. And I'm sure that you're going to enjoy what's on offer. Yes, the modes are quite limited. There are 30 musical tracks with a lot of filler in between. It's hard to recommend as a game, but if you want to keep some level of fitness and just add this in once in a while to your routine, then it's certainly not a bad way to do it. Let's get into that verdict. Zumba Burn It Up is recommended for those of you that love Zumba. It's hard to recommend as a game as it's not really focusing on that. It's easy enough to set up and play, have a quick Zumba dance to one song or take part in a class. It has a decent enough roster of songs with low, medium and higher intensity routines and has good dancers on nice sets. But for me, it lacks enough great songs, and these types of games are only as strong as a track list, which is a little bit of a shame. Now, this may also be good for those of you that want to try out Zumba but don't fancy or are not confident enough going into classes. It's also not bad at getting a bunch of you together and having a class together and a great time. That can be a lot of fun, and if it gets you moving, then, and you have a good time doing it, then this may be for you. But the rest of you who have a vague interest, I would say wait for a sale. For me, it's solid enough, a 7 out of 10, and if it gets you moving, then it's recommended. If you enjoyed this video, ladies and gentlemen, then hit that thumbs up. My good lady doesn't really get involved in videos for SwitchWatch, but she took the time to do so to show off her dance moves. So leave her a thumbs up for that. That would be fantastic. If you didn't like the video, you've got the thumbs down option. And if you want to leave us a comment, there's a comment section down below where you can leave us a comment about whatever you want that's gaming related. Maybe you want to tell me what your weekend or your week was like. Up to you. We do our best to respond to as many of you as possible, as long as the comments are not rude. And if you've got something to say, where we can improve, then please do leave some constructive criticism. My name is Juan Romero from SwitchWatch. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here and hit that bell notification. What I'm going to do before I leave just now is put some videos up there for you to check out some more SwitchWatch content. I've got bargain videos, physical release videos, and another review. Take your pick, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy. See you on the next one. Take care.